Okay, we are back. I'm very happy to have on the Goldstein on Gelt Show Michel Koopman, who is the Chief Executive Officer at a fascinating company called getAbstract, which helps people to compress knowledge. Michel, a real pleasure to have you. Tell us, what does it mean to compress knowledge?
Well, hello, Doug. It's a real pleasure to be on your show. Very, very much an honor. And thanks for having us. getAbstract is an online media company. And like you said, in a few words, we help individuals compress knowledge. But really, they're not doing it themselves. We're doing it for them. We are a company with really three key core competencies. We're really good at finding or curating most relevant knowledge out there, focusing specifically on business, summarizing it really well, and then making it available on demand so that individuals can make better business decisions and become more successful in their careers, ultimately helping their companies and even their economies thrive.
So are you a book summarizer?
Yes, certainly. This is one of the things we do. We don't only stop at books, actually. We are really focused on business content, and that can come from books, and certainly a large part of our content that we share with our clients comes from books, but also economic reports and online videos, economic reports from the likes of the IMF, World Bank, European Central Bank, etc., and keynote speeches from conferences like TED, Zurich Minds, and others. So really, as long as we believe there's a lesson to be learned, it's helpful for our clients to make key business decisions or develop their personnel, their own career, we seek it out and make it part of our offering.
So why would someone use a service like yours instead of, for example, going to TED.com and watching the TED Talk or buying the book?
Well, that's an excellent question, actually, because you would think that you can just go buy the book, and you can certainly do that, and we encourage people to do so. A number of reasons. One, people today, they live in a world of information overload. Right? Everything is available to you, but finding the most relevant knowledge is very, very difficult. And second, everyone is actually dealing with their own talent gap. It's not only at the economic level where we see unemployment in almost every economy, but companies are still having a hard time finding the right talent. But also at your own level, you are being asked by your boss or the environment that you're operating in, your business environment, to do things you weren't asked to do, let's say 3 months ago. And last but not least, you're dealing with resource scarcity, and that comes in the form of you have less time, less money, less resources to do more things. So in that world that I describe, people and companies who learn and consume information and knowledge differently are generally more successful than those that do not. And that's really what we're focused on in helping people.
So let's dive into this point a little more, because I like to consider myself a pretty big reader. I'm reading several books at once all the time, and I feel I get a lot out of them. And I have in the past read book summaries, here or there. And one of the things, especially when you talk about business books or management books, is I find that when someone summarizes it, you lose all of the inspiration. If I read a book about business marketing and the summary says it's important to network, and when you go to a conference, make sure you collect business cards and follow up. That's not the same as when you really read a book and you get the whole sense and the feeling. How do you guys deal with that gap between getting the point across quickly and getting the point across in a meaningful way?
Well, there's a big part of our production process, which I wouldn't spend too much time on here, that creates a high level of journalistic integrity and journalistic pride. So this is not done by machines. It's done by very experienced writers and authors who are experts in fields, coupled with a production team and a publisher's input. So that's first. Second, I would say that as you highlighted, a book has main points, like you just gave an example of, and it has then illustrations and stories and quotes and examples that allow you to remember a story. So we also make sure that we continue to include some of those. All right. Third, the organization of the abstracts themselves, we've done over 12,000 of them. It's a very proven way of summarizing with key points and things you call out on the sidebar, and something about the authors and what you will learn, and our editorial comment on it, and ratings and so forth. Now, having said all of that, Doug, if you read a book in its entirety, you will get more deeper knowledge about that particular topic. We actually recently did a study and found out that when people use getAbstract, they actually buy more books. If that wasn't the case, the 450 publishers wouldn't allow us to do what we do, because we do require the rights to summarize books and economic reports and so forth. However, I would add on top of that is that in today's world, the world I described earlier, Doug, if you have the time to read 1, 2, maybe 3 books on the topic of innovation over the course of, let's say, a year, because a normal person who might not read as much as you, Doug, won't read as many as 10 books a year. They might read 3 to 4. If you read it on innovation, you still don't have enough perspective. So the nice thing is about summaries is not only can I use it as its own intrinsic value, it's a wonderful way to supplement a deep read with other perspectives on the same topic. Does that make sense?
I think so. I hear what you're saying, which is it gives you a more well-rounded knowledge to have access to a lot more books, which you simply wouldn't be reading anyway, but probably a lot of people are. We're talking with Michel Koopman, who is the CEO of getAbstract, which is a company which originally I sort of thought, and I described it as they take books and they summarize them, but as we're talking to Michel, we're finding out that it's actually doing a lot more. Michel, let me just ask you a question just in terms of language. If someone reads a book abstract, can he say that he read the book when he's talking to his friends?
Well, can he? Yes. Should he? No.
In other words, is it the same as having read the book?
This is an ethical question you're asking me. Obviously, when you read a summary, you should be comfortable to say you read a summary. I would actually like to argue that when you read a getAbstract summary, that you have a very good understanding of the book. That's what we pride ourselves on, and therefore you shouldn't be embarrassed to say, I read it. And I read these other 3 as well, and I picked up out of those 4 summaries I read, I picked up this book and I'm reading it in detail. Yeah, you certainly can walk away with feeling very educated and knowledgeable on the topic. Generally, the people and the companies, I should say that we do business with over 1,000 enterprise customers, including 40 of the Fortune 100. These companies, they employ individuals who are generally fairly experienced. So if you pick up a book on management, a summary on management you've never managed before, it's one thing. But if you are a manager wanting to be better, you can read the summary and put it in perspective in your own world, and it really is incredibly helpful. The books are used really for 2 things, and the summaries of the economics report as well. It is both a tool to prepare yourself for the next activity, Doug, but also to help develop yourself for the next role or goal that you might have. So it's a little bit of a mix there.
Mm-hmm. So while we were just talking about language, a semantic question, because you also make these into audiobooks. When someone absorbs the information in an audiobook, do you say, I read the book or I heard the book?
I think technically people say I read the book, but it actually, I listened to an audio summary. It's probably more accurate, and it's
but a little bit longer. So tell us,
it's 8 minutes. The summary is 8 minutes, actually. It's interesting because runners like to run 8-minute miles. So I always like to listen to one when I'm on a treadmill.
So you actually feel then that you can absorb the core points of a book. And let's just dive into this a little bit more, because I want to understand, when someone finishes listening to or reading a book abstract, does he really know what the book is about, or is he just getting a piecemeal outline?
They get a real deep understanding of the actual original artifact, if it's a book or a report or a video. Yes, so you could actually walk away not just with a review of what is in the book, you walk away with the lessons, the key points, the go-dos, the key examples and quotes, and even a little bit about the author, and also a little bit about what we think is good or bad about the book. We put a mostly objective 5 pages together with a paragraph on our subjective review of what we think of it as well.
Mm-hmm. And what I like about what you pointed out is that you said that a lot of the people who read your reviews then actually go ahead and read the book. So it seems to me like it's a good partnership for a reader. It is not simply buying the Cliff Notes like when you're in school just to get through a book quickly.
No, and in fact, every single summary we have links back to the full original piece. Sometimes those pieces are behind a toll gate, or you have to buy them on Amazon. In some cases, they are actually completely accessible, like a TED video, for example. So the linkage between those two is very important. And again, we really try to curate the right things to the right individuals in a way that they can digest it in this busy world. That's really what it's about. But then if you want to reserve the time to go deeper, we should give that option, obviously, and that's what we're doing.
And making it easy. All right, Michel, we are just about out of time. We've been talking to the CEO of getAbstract, Michel Koopman. In the last few seconds, just tell us, how can people follow you and follow your work?
Oh, that's great. Thank you. Well, we are easily traceable. You go to our website at www.getAbstract.com, which is GETABSTRACT.com. And you can follow me at mkoopi on Twitter, MKOOPI. That's another way you can follow me. And I regularly post readings that I recommend everyone should take a look at.
Okay, we will put links to those at the show notes of today's show at goldsteinongelt.com. Michel Koopman, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, Doug. It was a pleasure.
You are listening to the Goldstein on Gelt Show with money maven Doug Goldstein. Doug's weekly radio show is heard around the world, but if you miss it, you can download the podcast at www.goldsteinongelt.com. The Goldstein on Gelt Show gives you up-to-date financial ideas so you can get on the path to financial freedom. If you'd like your questions answered on the air or off, send Doug an email to doug@profile-financial.com. It's your money for your future, so join Doug every week to build your wealth on the Goldstein on Gelt Show.